That text could have ruined everything for me. Welcome back to the Keys podcast. I am your host, Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lilly. And this is episode 80. Yeah, the road to 100 has begun, but we shall celebrate the present moment. That is 80 episodes of the Keys podcast, formerly known as the Transaction Care podcast. Yes, there was a random rebranding that I didn't have to do, but I did. But here we are, still standing at 80 episodes, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. But today's episode is going to get very real. It's going to get so real that this actually happened this morning, and I want to talk about it. A lot of you ask me, what is a day in the life of a real estate transaction coordinator? And to be honest, no 2 days are exactly the same, but there are common recurrences when it comes to the type of work I do, the paperwork I see, the constant back and forth with emails and text messages. And today was no different. Today's, in fact, Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. The reason I'm saying that is because this morning and yesterday, I received text messages at 9 a.m. on the dot, which for me at this stage of my business and my career is kind of odd because I'm very efficient, on time, getting the work done. So to get these text messages honestly kind of irritated me. And yesterday I was busy with coaching and doing TC work that I said, you know what, tomorrow I'm just going to let myself sleep in. And I think that was the first mistake. I'm not saying we can't sleep in or we can't have guilt-free days, but I think I failed to remind myself that in the event I see a work text or email, I still have to be open-minded to that happening. And I was not this morning. I just wanted to sleep. And mind you, I have my alerts on silent for pretty much everyone. There's no task too urgent that I need to hear at 9 a.m. every single day. So the fact that that happened this week is normal. So for those wanting to be a transaction coordinator, communication is key. So I'm not saying this was a bad thing. They just caught me at a bad time. Let me explain. I like to incorporate quote unquote guilt-free days in my week. And in order for that to be guilt-free, I have to make sure ahead of time I get all my work done. I respond to all my emails, text messages in a timely manner. I'll schedule emails to go out. That way I'm not in a rush to wake up in the morning to hit send or open up my inbox or even my phone. And just for clarity purposes, I only have one phone. I don't have two separate lines. It hasn't been something I needed over these past years and decades. So just for some context to know what's happening, that as soon as I wake up, I do my darndest to not touch my phone, but my alarm is connected to it. So the alarm goes off, I hit snooze, and I say, it's a guilt-free Thursday. I did all my work. So I ended up hitting snooze a couple of times. And today I did sleep in a little later, but I noticed a bunch of alerts on my phone. So I was like, uh-oh, what's going on? And normally I'm pretty disciplined. I would say 90% of the time, I'm very disciplined, and there's just no negotiating my morning routine at this stage of life. I get up, turn my alarm off, which yes, I will get a separate alarm ASAP after today. Set my alarm, snoozed it, finally got out of bed, and instead of putting my phone down, I noticed text messages, and I was like, oh, great. And they were work related, and this time they were urgent. And I was like, dang, like my morning routine is very non-negotiable, but I kind of have to drop that for now to take care of this fire. And I did. And immediately I was dragging my feet. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was just like, damn, I wish I didn't have to do this right now. I wish this wasn't my situation. And I started to reminisce to all the days in the past year where I was really feeling those feelings of resentment of, oh, I hate this part of my job. I don't like this part of my business. And then the other part of me is like, well, why haven't you just quit yet? Why aren't you in the place that you keep saying you want to be? Why haven't you hit those goals or those dreams? Why haven't they come true? And don't get me wrong, a lot of my dreams and goals have come true, but they're they're so new and in the infancy stages of it all that it's hard to just drop this part of my life or my business, because today is October 23rd, 2025. If I were to say I quit abruptly and irrationally and impulsively, yeah, I would be homeless by November 1st, 2025. And we don't want that. I have been very impulsive in the past and made irrational decisions, and I just went with it, and that's okay. But me at 41, I do want to be a lot more intentional, strategic, systematic about the decisions I make. At the end of the day, decisions are decisions. And I trust that whatever decision I make, as long as I keep God at the forefront of all of that and have faith and believe, I'll be fine. But in this particular situation, transaction coordination, when the money is flowing at a consistent rate, it becomes an addiction. For me, at least. I can't speak for everyone. But when I feel a calling or a pulling towards a different type of business or lifestyle, yet on this side, the money is flowing, you tend to forget and stray away from the times when you were suffering the most. And then you end up falling back into those comfortable, complacent tendencies, as I did this morning. And getting those text messages yesterday morning, today, and they weren't things that I was in trouble for. They were just things that needed to be done sooner than later. So I understood the urgency. But I was just tired of being in the same situation and not doing anything about it. And I know many of you are in that situation as well, because I speak to you one-on-one. We have discovery calls, and launching my coaching business this year was one of the biggest blessings of my life. And although it's still in the infancy stages, I'm in my rookie season of officially being a coach with paying clients, okay? I know that if I want to see this eventually replace transaction coordination, I have to take charge of my circumstances. So when I got that text message this morning, I almost broke. I almost broke down. I almost broke up with with TCing, and I had to calm down, because me a year ago would get those type of emails and text messages, go on about my day, pissed off, angry, annoyed, irritated, harboring resentment and anger, and not doing anything about it, which is why I'm in the same place I am a year ago. But 6 to 10 months ago, I actually made efforts to be intentional about the coaching business, about my content creation. And those text messages this morning made me realize, oh, I got complacent again. I'm comfortable. Because no joke, at the top of 2025, I was in the worst position financially after getting back in debt after 10 years of being debt-free. Spending basically all of my savings just to survive financially last year in my business. And then waking up January 1st, 2025 with little to no money in my account and a bunch of creditors on my back, saying, hey, what's going on? Rent's due, bills are due, all of that. So my prayers at the beginning of this year were very loud, desperate. I was pleading for help, for anything. So fast forward to now in October, 10 months later in the year, I find myself back in those same habits of, oh, I'll get to it later. I'll promote my coaching business tomorrow. I'll record that podcast later. I'll do it on Thursday. No, my calendar says I'm supposed to record every Monday, but I didn't record this Monday because you know why? Out of nowhere, my TC business just started to flourish, which is, I'm very grateful. I'm blessed. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. In fact, I'm so grateful. But I also know that part of this journey, if I'm serious about really becoming a full-fledged coach, taking this podcast more serious, creating more content that aligns not just my supporters, customers, and clients, but also builds a community that will be long-lasting. I made it 7 years as a solopreneur thus far, kind of winging it. Like learning as I go, growing together with you all in real time. There's videos from when I first started this journey. But ultimately, when I got those text messages, I almost got out of bed and went straight to my laptop. But before I did, I said, let me take a pause. And 2 questions popped in my head. What are the patterns? And what is this teaching me? And this is a part of my growth journey, maturing, not just as an adult, but as a businesswoman. And a year ago, I was not asking myself these questions. Like I said, I was just getting up and doing the work angrily. My alarm says, do the work with love. Because 365 days ago, I did not love anything I was doing. And the people around me, everything was suffering because of the way I was showing up in the world. So if I was going to do anything differently today, it was going to be to pause before I go do this work angrily and then end up in the same situation a year from today, which I do not want. And I recognized my pattern. Oh, I was about to get up, be angry all day, take it out on other people, complain. But instead, I said, okay, I don't have to drop everything I'm doing right now to get this done, but I can reply to the text messages. Thank you. This is what I know about this situation. Are you going to take care of this? I'll take care of this. And just kind of directing and redirecting some of that energy and the tasks to other people, to myself, rather than absorbing that and being annoyed all day. A simple text message almost took me out. But I'm so grateful that I had the tools and I was mindful enough and present enough to say, hey, I want to get to my morning routine. And yes, I did sleep in this morning, so I'm starting things off later than usual. Everything feels sped up now. I can't just ease my way into the morning. But what I can do is not make this a habit. Because what I realized after I took care of the matter, I calmed down, I restarted my day later than usual, praying, journaling, reading. And I told myself, I'm in charge of changing my circumstances. And right now, if I do the work, stay angry, I will be back here in 3 to 6 months. Even a year from today, even angrier. And I didn't do anything to shift my trajectory had I ignored those questions that I asked myself. And again, my actions, after getting some money, after suffering for a bit, my actions were not aligning with my dreams and my goals. Yes, I have successfully launched my coaching business, which, shameless plug, visit LillianHernandez.com to book a session with me. I mean that. I want to talk to you guys directly. And I'm so grateful that I do have clients, but I know I still have to put in the work. I can't be comfortable just yet with the people I'm working with now because they aren't long-term contracts. Yeah, the money was flowing. It's great. God is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm able to pay down some debts and tackle the things that I was pleading and crying for. But just because being quote unquote broke was no longer my situation, which is funny to say because I'm still nowhere near financially stable, but mentally and emotionally, spiritually, I know I'll be fine. I've proven to myself with God that I'm capable of so much more, of starting over with zero. So I know I'll be okay, but the work is not done. It's fine to take a pause, to reflect, absolutely enjoy the moment, be present. But I'm also in the process of changing my relationship with money. I'm in the process of rebranding my businesses. I'm in the process of transitioning businesses. So in the moments when the TC work started to thrive, it really challenged me in a way that I ended up pausing my coaching, my pursuits for coaching and content creation, because I could breathe. I could finally breathe. And I started to lose my passion in my prayers because I was fine. But today, officially, I realized I was settling. And these morning text messages that I received were a great reminder of my lack of effort to meet my goals, dreams, and blessings at least halfway. I can pray all day and night. Yes, prayer works. I can write it out, everything in a cute little checklist, color-coded, create a vision board for every aspect of my life. But I still have to be intentional about my actions and remember to direct them towards what I need to achieve. I won't be quitting TC work today, but I do have to remember to make sure I am prioritizing the quote unquote new life I envision for myself. The one I would cry to God about, pray and plead for, begging. Even when the dreams don't pay or do numbers, I still have to show up, adjust, and go. I got too comfortable, but what I know I'm capable of, I needed that added friction and accountability this morning to wake me up. Thank you all for listening to the Keys podcast. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lilly. And this is episode 80. Again, I am so blessed and grateful for each and every one of you that tunes in, listens, shares the episodes, emails me, comments, leaves ratings and 5 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars. It all counts. It all matters. And I'm so grateful again and blessed to have this platform to come on here and share my stories and provide you all with the keys to be successful in business, in life, in real estate, whatever your life calls you to do. And if you want to learn more about my coaching services or about myself and my story, visit my website, lillianhernandez.com. All of that will live there. You can also book a discovery call with me as well. I would love for you all to reach out so we can connect, continue to learn and grow together, but also come up with strategic plans to get up and feel confident about our day, to have courage to pursue our dreams and goals, and to not give up even in times of strife or when you want to just quit your job and start over. I get it. I've been there. I was there this morning again. You're going to feel those feelings even when you are living in your dreams and in your answered prayers. So if you crave and pray for and desire a new life, it starts with you. What are you doing? And if you don't know what you're doing, I'm here to support you, advocate for you, uplift you, encourage you. And let's get this ball rolling because it starts with momentum. I'm here to support you. Let's connect. And if you want to listen to past episodes of The Keys Podcast, visit thekeyspodcast.com. You can also email me if you want to be a guest on the show. All of that information will live in the description, but I'll give it to you here. So grab a pen unless you're driving or walking or scootering, whatever the case may be. My email is thekeyswork@gmail.com. Stay tuned for more episodes, more content. All of it is going to come together. I guarantee it, because right now all of my content lives in different places. So you will see in the next couple of months, God willing, all of it will start to be aligned and succinct and available for you to consume. So thank you again for listening. And until the next episode, this is the Keys Podcast. Talk to you guys later.